The Vlandians are the descendants of adventurers from the west who lived in the empire for centuries before forming an independent kingdom. With the decline of imperial authority, they have evolved into a well-organized feudal society led by a caste of warlike nobles who prefer to fight with spears and lances on horseback. Okay. Sergians are the descendants of foreign tribes of northern Colorado. As the empire expanded their cold forests, they have found that a ready market for the luxurious furs of woodland animals, whom they traditionally hunted and trapped. Sergian chieftains became princes vying for preeminence with the help of Nord mercenaries who migrated in the realm. They are good hunters and wanderers, traveling far in search of opportunities for trade and plunder. The Coloradian Empire is in decline even before the murder of Emperor Arancinos. The once united realm was torn by political rivalries. Today, those factions are in open war, yet Coloradians endure. They are technologically more advanced than their neighbors, and their mastery of engineering is not just evident in their aqueducts, beautiful architecture, and massive city walls. It also makes them expert in siege warfare. Interesting. Hasrai are inhabitants of the Nahasi Desert, a mix of nomadic Bedouin and settled oasis farmers. They are famous for their horsemanship and their knowledge of the learning of many lands, especially medicine, gained from lying on some of the continent's most lucrative trade routes. Each clan is fiercely proud of its lineage and often jealous of others, but when united by a charismatic leader, they became a major force in the south. The Khuzait Confederation of steppe tribes used to live a nomadic life, but have recently settled in the eastern frontier of the empire and are slowly transitioning to agrarian society with permanent town centers. Despite this, they retain many aspects of their nomadic life, including their affinity with horses. They are masters of mounted archery, shooting and galloping out of reach. Interesting. The Battanians still remember the olden days when the woods stretched across the northern Karate and the empire and city has not violated their sanctity. The fierce warriors remain loyal to their traditional ways. They paint their faces going to battle, and even their noblemen prefer to fight on foot with great axes and 200-foot swords. Interesting. So the two that are currently interesting me right now is the Empire and the Vlandians. Just because, I don't know, I kind of like their lore. All the nations so far actually seem to be very interesting. I might play the Vlandians. I would go for the Empire just because I feel like their construction speed to town projects and wall repairs and siege engines is probably pretty outstanding. But, well, I don't know about the spears and lances on horseback. There's less penalty from snow, caravan, so trade. Speed bonus for horsemen. Forest. XP. Or construction to town projects, wall repairs, and siege engines. I think I'm going to go with the siege engines, actually, because I feel like I'm going to do a lot of sieging, and those seem extremely valuable. Okay, so the character creator. This is... they just have some... Let's go a little on the taller side. Don't want to be a giant, but we don't want to be short. Is there any kind of... Okay, so we got some various skins. Kind of look a little rougher. So that's like the Caesar hairstyle. Okay, so that would be more... Probably go with a little longer hair. What eyes we got here? Wow, so they actually provide quite a bit of modification. I want to go with a little bit more green. Let's see. There's not really all that much I would like to customize. Maybe Okay, so try to keep it pretty quick. So I guess those are like 5 o'clock shadow. Markings. Okay, so it can have like some edgy scars and stuff like that. Doesn't look like that one's showing all that well. Maybe they're not the right color. Those seem to show alright. Not a really screaming empire, but I guess we'll go with something. Not something super edgy, but we also do want, or not something too excessive, but we do want something. We better make our character at least a little unique. Yeah, we'll go with something like that. Nothing too much. Okay. Alright, that'll work. Family. Okay, so this is where, like in the older games, where you absolutely just like picked how you started out. So Armored Lancer, Trade and Charm, Athletics, Polearm, Smithing and Crossbow. Smithing, interesting. Scouting and Bow. Roguery and Throwing. I'm gonna go with that. Trade and Charm. Leadership skills. Strength. Attention to detail. Engineering. And trade. Interesting. So I could... I'm gonna go with your way with people, because I'm gonna build this guy to be like a natural leader, and he's gonna have to work hard to be stronger. I think that's what I would like to do. I don't want to be part of a alley gang. Trade and Charm. Caring for horses. Ooh. I think right here I'm gonna go with this one, Engineering and Leadership. And then a point to Intelligence. Youth. Oh, so we actually get to customize a lot of different groups. I really like that. Crossbow and Engineering. Riding and Bow. Polearm and One-Handed. Throwing and Bow. So I guess if we have to choose one. So I could put this and just like absolutely max with the Engineering. Crossbow is useful, but I feel like some... You know what? Yeah. We're going to go with the Engineering. You're big... Oh, I haven't been reading these. That's my bad. You were born into a family of urban merchants, and as a child, you were noted for your way with people, and then growing up, you spent most of your time with your tutor. As a youngster growing up in Colorado, war was never too far away. You stood with the garrisons. And before you set out on for a life of adventure, your biggest achievement was... Oh, okay, let me see. I will check my settings on the stream right now. Let me know if it continues. Can't budget, and if it does continue, I can do something to try to fix it. Might reopen the stream or something like that. So just let me know. Okay, and so before you set on a life of adventure, your biggest achievement was you defeated an enemy in battle. So that makes you have renown, tactics, and leadership. Invested some money in a workshop. Survived a siege. Had a famous escapade. Maybe it was a love affair, or maybe you cheated at dice. Mercy, generosity, and honor. Vigor, valor. So tactics and leadership, calculating. Trade and smithing. Yeah, let's do that. You invest in some money in a workshop. Although, like, the renown from this would be, you know, it would be helpful. But it's not super big. I think that would be something I would choose. So, like when your family in Calradia, your life was upended by war, your home was ravaged by the passage of army after army. Eventually you sold your property and set off with your father, mother, brother, and your 2 younger siblings to a new town you'd hoped was safer. But you did not make it. Along the way, the inn at which you were staying was attacked by raiders. Your parents were slain and your 2 younger siblings seized, but you and your brother survived because you subdued a raider. You drove them off with arrows. You rode on a fast horse. You tricked the raiders. You organized the travelers to break out. I think that's what we were going with. A leader. My name. We're just gonna roll a random one. That's a pretty cool name. Let's do it. So, I think we're just going to go with the default difficulty until I get kind of a gauge of how hard the game is. And then if I find that things are too easy, I'll turn up the difficulty. If I find that things are too hard, I will, of course, I can't lower it. So, okay. Brother, it's been 3 days now. We've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How are we going to rescue Phazos and Elia? Are we up for a fight? Yeah. This looks like an old training field for the legions. Perhaps we can spare some time and brush up our skills. The practice could come up useful when we catch up with the raiders. Alright. So, enter the training area. Not really hearing much audio from the game. There we go. Okay. That was on my end. Let's see. Okay. Oh. I guess I should go through all the trainings, just... Let's go over here and grab a... I'd probably do mounting spear if I was going to do mounting. Oh, this is pretty cool. Oh. There we go. It's an awful lot of pots we're destroying here. Okay, so there's a little delay on the jumping. Gotta keep that in mind. Oof. Archery seems pretty cool in this. Alright. I think that's enough training, really. Alright, let's get out of here. Before we do anything, so we're low on food, there's a village north where we can buy provisions and find some help. You're a better rider than I am, so I'll let you lead the way. Open to Karadia. You can explore the world by moving the camera. Wow, okay. Alright, so you can see how they loosely based some of these nations. Pretty interesting. I am very excited. So it looks like these are all three of these Empire. So it looks obviously loosely based on Europe, and this is the Mediterranean. I guess that's like the Dead Sea. Okay. Works for me. So let's go to Tevea. Okay, so space pauses it. So, take a walk around. I imagine that's because we haven't talked to anyone. Or maybe it's just... Empire peasant. Talk to the headman. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm pretty bad at driving this horse. Not as easy as they were before. Alright. So I'm glad they added the ability to find him, because that always aggravated me in the older games, whether it was modded or just Warband itself and native. It was always pretty hard to find headmen. Or maybe I was just bad. But all the people look really good. I am Oberon, headman of this village. What brings you here? We need help. Some raiders have taken our younger brother and sister captive. We think they may have passed this way. They got your people too? Sorry to hear that. Those bastards have done a bit of killing, looting these parts as well. We think they've gone north. I reckon there are a few folk around here joining to go after them if you pay for their gear. Once you've made your preparations, come and talk to me again. I may have a task for you if you're going after the raiders. Excellent. Okay. So you hold down that to leave. Recruit troops. Okay, we have enough money to recruit all those guys. Buy products. I'd buy sheep too. I guess I'll buy sheep. Let's start the Hitman again. Okay, that's cool. There's this wandering doctor who comes through here from time to time. Crypticis treats people for free. We're fond of him. When we last saw him a few days ago, he was carrying some sort of chest which he was mysterious about. He was on sort of quest, he said, though he wouldn't tell us more. He set off on the road a few hours before the raiders come through here. Well, he's not really a worldly type, just the kind of fellow who'd stumble into a trap and let himself be captured. We're worried about him. You keep an eye out on him, this Crypticis. We'd be grateful. Maybe if he's alive and well, he'll tell you a little more about his quest. Okay. Okay. So, we can go to our quest. Let's see. Let's attack these. I guess that's what we're supposed to be doing. Oh, looks like the average raiders are not quite up to par with even these peasants. Or maybe they are. A little bit of a lag spike there, but we're getting pretty consistent performance. Awesome. So, I lost 9, they lost all. Perfect. So I got some prisoners. Okay, so now I have some hand wraps. So, these are all worse than what I have, but at least I got some hand wraps. Although I wish I had a spear on my horse, but I guess I'll try out horse archery. Okay. Okay, first person. I'm more of a first person player, but occasionally I'll play third person just because it looks good. Okay, so it's more about a speed thing. So you gotta be quick with your bow. Okay, so they're hitting me a little bit. But it doesn't seem like I'm supposed to struggle against these guys. I'll certainly want to pick up some of that troops from that nation with horse archery. Seems like horse archery would be powerful. Although I suck at it. Although, those animations for that bow bending, they look pretty good. Didn't lose anyone. Captured a bunch of them. Or maybe we don't have room for any prisoners. Oh. Oh, so we're finding quite a bit of these. Looks like these are worse than our leather shoes, which is a shame. You rescue several prisoners that the raiders had been dragging along. They looked parched and exhausted. You give them a bit of water and bread. After a short while, one staggers to his feet and comes over to you. Crypticis. I don't know who you are, but I mean you're dead. These brigands would have marched us to our deaths. My name is Crypticis. I'm a doctor by trade. I was on, well, a bit of a quest, but now I'm thinking I'm not really made for this kind of thing. I was with a caravan and they just came out of the brush. We were surrounded and outnumbered, so we gave up. I figured they'd keep us alive if just for ransom, but then they started flogging us at top speed, without any water. I was just about ready to drop. I could feel the signs of heat stroke creeping up, and I told them, but they flogged me more. If your group hadn't come along, maybe I have a way to thank you properly. We're looking for 2 children captured by raiders. Can you tell us anything? I'm afraid I haven't seen any children, but after the caravan attacked the chief of the raiders, the one called Radagos, took and rode with our more valuable belongings, including the chest I had. He seemed controlling more than one bandit raiding around this area. If this lot has your kin, then I think you'd be the one to know. And since I have nothing left to repay your debt, I'll tell you this. If you do catch up and defeat the ruffian, you may be able to recover my chest. It contains a valuable ornament which I was told could be of great value if you knew where to sell it. I was trying to find out more about it, but as I say, I've had all my urge for traveling flogged out of me. Right now, I don't think I'd venture more than 20 paces from a well as long as I live. Doesn't look like much, and I suspect this lot would give it away for a few coins, but I got it from a mercenary whom I treated once and swore it was related to Neretzi's folly. I don't know what that means, except that Neretzi's was of course the emperor who died in battle some years back. Maybe you can find out its true value. Thanks for saving me again. I hope our trials will cross again. Excellent. So those are